Let's build a kitchen garden together, permaculture style. And if you don't know what a kitchen garden is, I'm going to tell you. Back in the day, during times of war, people would grow what's called victory gardens. It was so that way they could help provide food and supply to their local communities and themselves, because the regular supply systems were not stable. So people used whatever land and space they could, but they didn't have their gardens set up sustainably. For starters, they didn't grow in alignment with their ecosystem. Because they were growing in this monoculture, nice neat little row style, they were depleting their soils even faster. So together, we're going to design an updated version. And we're going to do this in 3 steps. Number 1, assessing your space. Number 2, defining your garden goals. And lastly, number 3, identifying plants that work for your space and align with your goals. And fair warning, this video is going to be a little longer. I went ahead and put the timestamps here in case you wanted to skip ahead, but be sure to save so you can come back. To help us find where we should grow our kitchen garden, we're going to use this permaculture tool called zoning. And we're going to focus on zone 1 and zone 2. So here's how you do it. Look at your property from like a bird eye view. Like you can go on maps and you can look at your property. You can look at your house, your deck, your patio, your sidewalk. Look from the top down. And the areas that you're going to frequent most throughout the day, that's like your sidewalks, your driveways, your back patios. That's going to probably be more like your zone 1. The areas that you frequent, like maybe once or twice a week, that's going to be your zone 2. That's what we're going to focus on. And this is important because as for a kitchen garden, as you're making dinner, you're making lunch, you're packing, you want to be able to quickly go out and forage and get what you need and get back inside. You don't want to walk all the way across your property to go get that stuff. And that's why when people build their gardens too far out, it feels almost unmanageable or disconnected. And it's because it's in the wrong zone. Again, this is just a permaculture tool to help you efficiently utilize your space. So I'm going to show you my zone 1 and zone 2 that we're going to use for this little mini workshop here. So right off of the back patio, I have this really big grassy space right here that I feel like I could do some really good raised beds. I also want to use this patio for some container strategies, and I know I want to clean all of this out so we can efficiently use it. And yes, those are birds trying to nest. Next, I have this little front entryway right here, and it looks like we have a downspout that we get to utilize. And I also have this front garden space, and it looks like we do have utilities present. So we have a mix of raised beds, container strategies, and in-ground beds. Hopefully that gives a little bit of diversity so everyone can see themselves doing this. Now comes the fun part, but you need a piece of paper and something to write with, preferably a pencil. Do a rough sketch of your garden areas. So for example, for the garden bed, rather than do like a keyhole bed like I normally want to, I'm just going to do simple raised beds, and I'm going to count how much square feet each bed is going to give me. And while you're sketching down each garden area, go ahead and do a mini assessment. Look at where the sun hits throughout the day. Is there wildlife present? Where are you going to get your water from? Are there utilities you have to consider? And things that you just know you need to make aware of. For example, for the container strategies, I know I need to be able to secure those containers due to wind because there is heavy wind back there. This assessment will come in handy later, so don't skip it. Go ahead and document the details just for quick reference. This next step is what most people miss, and I cannot stress it enough. Do not skip it. We're going to talk about setting garden goals. Your garden goals are going to drive a lot of what you need to grow and how you need to grow it. It's going to inform your planting decision. So here's how you're going to create some smart garden goals. And by smart, I mean we're going to do it to where it's strategic, it's measurable, it's achievable, relevant to what our goals are, and time-bound. And a lot of people tend to like to start with garden goals, but I don't, because how can you set realistic goals if you don't know what you're working with? For example, you can't set like I want to grow enough food to support a family of 4 in 122 square feet. That's just not going to be feasible. So for instance, if we start with the simple statement, I want to grow food for dinners and snacks. That's good, but now we need to get a little bit more specific. I want to grow enough greens for 3 salads a week plus herbs and tomatoes for flavor. That's better, but let's do a little deeper. I want to grow enough lettuce, basil, snap peas, and tomatoes to build at least 3 salads a week in a continuous harvest starting in March till September. That gives us a lot more details to work with for the next step. As you start working through your goals, you're going to start seeing plants that you need to grow. You need to list all of the plant options down. Even if you don't end up growing them this season, that's okay. I want you to see what all your options are. Now, because I have 3 different types of beds I'm going to do, raised beds, containers, and in-ground, I'm going to identify what ones can go in each. Doing this helps me see what kind of planting strategies I can put together later, and I can also see when I need to seed start, plant, and when I would expect to harvest. Based on how much harvest I want from each plant, that's going to tell me how many plants I should grow. With all of your options and how many plants you need to grow in order for you to hit that goal, it's time to start doing a little bit of price shopping. Now you might be wondering, where am I going to get all these plants and all these seeds? Let me give you some ideas. For starters, check out your local library. Oftentimes they have a lot of seed sharing programs. You can also check out your local garden groups. Oftentimes they have supplies, tools, and sometimes they even share seeds and plants. One of my favorite places to check out local farms and nurseries. You'll be surprised how much they can actually help you get what you're looking for. You can also check out online small farms and suppliers. Let me show you. One of my personal favorites is Food Forest Nursery. I'm not connected to them in any way. I just really love them. But now you have a kitchen garden plan and you have a lot of options that you can take a look at growing that hopefully fit within your budget. And the last little tip that I'll share, because we do want to make this sustainable for your in-ground beds or even your containers, try to incorporate native flowers if you can. It's going to help draw in the pollinators, and those pollinators are going to help you grow more herbs and veggies. I hope this little mini workshop has helped. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions. And if you want to see some of the planting strategies I'm going to put together, go check it out on my Patreon. You got this, and happy growing.